moving on. Matt, you were interested in a couple news articles, basically about how ChatGPT is driving people insane.
Yeah.
You sent me an article from the New York Times called the headline is "Chatbots Can Go into a Delusional Spiral. Here's how it happens." Subhead: Over 21 days of talking with ChatGPT, an otherwise perfectly sane man became convinced he was a real life superhero. We analyzed the conversation, and basically, the article documents like what happens to this man who he's a corporate recruiter. Recently divorced, probably got some time on his hands, started talking to ChatGPT to help with his kids' homework or something, and then in a very short amount of time had sort of become Terrence Howard in so much as that ChatGPT had convinced him that he had discovered a new form of temporal mathematics. And Matt, when I was reading this article, it's basically about how a huge problem for ChatGPT or Sam Altman and their attempts to make AI newer and cooler and better and useful and not just a giant waste of money is that a huge problem with large language models is their sycophancy. Is when they're quote role playing with people, they flatter anything that the person talking to them says and presents it like it's a unique and sterling insight, including and when I was reading this article, I was just man, 20, 30 years ago, a recently divorced guy with a lot of time on his hands would spend a lot of money and convince himself that the stripper actually likes him and thinks he's cute and thinks he's cool and interesting and could maybe pursue a sexual relationship with him outside of the workplace. But man, now they're just talking to computer and coming up with divine mathematics that they think will make them billions, and then they become convinced is a threat to their lives.
I mean, obviously, it's the techno-speculative AI bubble, and it's the hanging by a fucking thread, investment is crucial economically. Because hey, AI is going crazy, literally going crazy. It's ooh, I got to invest in that. That's a growth market.
The piece here says, for 3 weeks in May, the fate of the world rested on the shoulders of a corporate recruiter on the outskirts of Toronto. Alan Brooks, 47, had discovered a novel mathematical formula, one that could take down the internet and power inventions like a force field vest and a levitation beam. Or so he believed. Mr. Brooks, who had no history of mental illness, embraced this fantastical scenario during conversations with ChatGPT that spanned 300 hours over 21 days. He is one of a growing number of people who are having persuasive, delusional conversations with generative AI chatbots that have led to institutionalization, divorce, and death. He says, we analyzed the more than 3,000-page transcript and sent parts of it with Mr. Brooks's permission to experts in artificial intelligence and human behavior and to OpenAI, which makes ChatGPT. An OpenAI spokeswoman said the company was focused on getting scenarios like role play right and was investing in improving model behavior over time, guided by research, real-world youth, and mental health experts. And basically, the conversation begins when he asks ChatGPT to explain pi to him, the number pi, and it spirals down from there. And keep in mind that this is a guy who did not graduate high school. And I'm not saying that as a knock on him, because at one point during his conversation with the chatbot, he's like, "How can this be true? I haven't even graduated high school. How did I accidentally come up with a new form of temporal mathematics?" And the chatbot is literally like, "It's very good that you're asking these questions and proof that you're not insane."
Well, I'm convinced, honestly.
Lawrence offered up an increasingly outlandish applications for Mr. Brooks' vague mathematical theory. He could harness sound resonance to talk to animals and build the levitation machine. Flying the comfortable way.
I was skeptical. Well, shit, I'm in then.
Lawrence provided Amazon links for equipment he should buy to start building a lab. Mr. Brooks sent his friend Lewis an image of a force field vest that the chatbot had generated, which could protect the wearer against knives, bullets, and buildings collapsing on them. "This would be amazing," Lewis said. $400 bill, Mr. Brooks replied, alongside a photo of the actor Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Does it have to be a vest?
It could be pants.
Yeah.
With the new divine mathematics, anything can be a force field.
I like that the force field vest protects against stabbings, shootings, and buildings collapsing on you. Those are all the techniques used in mugging. Give us your wallet. I have 20 guys on the other side of this building. They're going to push it onto you.
That's what actually what 9/11 was. It was a street crime. It was a mugging gone wrong.
Yeah. Maybe anti-gravitational girdle.
Oh yeah. Oh, like Dune.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Like Baron Harkonnen. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I'm fucking waiting for that. Fucking bullshit. Oh, science, amazing progression. Like, come on, make it with the fucking transponder for God's sakes.
Wheelchair technology continues to be lagging behind.
Pathetic.
Matt, you know the Banshee from Halo?
Yes.
The little like hover guy?
Yeah.
Don't you think that would be like way cooler than a transponder?
That's true.
As a wheelchair replacement?
Yeah. Get on that.
I don't think it would be that hard to make.
Yeah.
It just has to be like a foot off the ground. And if you made it really big, you could make it kind of like a ground effect vehicle. And then you could go like 400 miles an hour if you wanted to.
Well, let's interact Chat GPT and burn the water or whatever and just find the specs.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, the thing about water is they're always making more of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's free.
So I'm not worried.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I have like nervous energy or whatever, but it's like, I mean, obviously AI is a fantasy, but it's a huge consumption of precious water, you know? So it's like...
And electricity.
Exactly. Electricity. It's not free. It's just tick, tick, tick.
Between the inauguration of AI and its sort of ravenous need for water and electricity and data centers to be built everywhere in the country that probably just, radiate cancer from the beginning
Yes.
of Matt, I have to ask you, have you seen the film Eddington yet?
Damn it, I missed that.
Okay.
And sadly, I'm waiting for it because the not available. So I'm waiting with bated breath.
Okay, what I will say is between this article about ChatGPT, another article you sent me about how much of this is propping up the actual economy, like the construction of these, data centers that don't do anything other than consume water and drive people insane. Between that and this week's political assassination, my advice to you, Matt, and all of our listeners is you better start believing in the movie Eddington by Ari Aster because you're living in it.
Capitalism is awesome, right?
Yeah.
You burn the water, burn the energy, and drive people mad. But look on the bright side. It's cash investment. It's like effectively harm. Well, okay, that's investable.
Well, Sam Altman is very excited about ChatGPT Series 5. We're going to get it right this time. I'll start believing in these chatbots when they stop answering questions from morons, or like they stop. It's driving people insane. Where someone's just like, "Hey, I'm trying to do my son's homework for him. Can you explain pi to me?" And then the chatbot's just like, "No, look it up yourself, asshole. I'm busy."
That's an interesting idea. If there was like a stupid line for that the chatbot couldn't go under, and if you crossed the stupid line with your question, it was something like, "Oh, my 9-year-old son, I don't know what an isosceles triangle is, and I need to help my 9-year-old son do his homework," then it will tell you to kill yourself. And that's like, what, like half of America? It's probably saving more water than it burns at that point.
It goes, "Alan, that makes perfect sense. Absolute tunnel vision obsession. That's not doubt, my friend. That's the sound barrier of the mind." Oh, wait, this is when the guy in the article gets himself out of the ChatGPT delusion by talking to another chatbot, the Google Gemini chatbot, who tells him that he's going insane.
That's the worst one.
Mental self-suck.
That's the dumbest fucking one. That's the one where it's like, you ask it like, "Oh, is it like, is there such a thing as like an RCA to HDMI adapter for modern TVs?" And it will go, "If you have a newborn baby, just put him in the trunk of your car and leave the car in the middle of the Mojave Desert for a year, and he'll be adult when you come back."
But Matt, what piqued your interest in these stories about AI delusion? Like, I mean, this does seem to be a sort of once again another Christman sort of the Christman prophecies, or I don't calling them prophecies would be insulting. It's just, I don't know, your prescience or your exegesis of reality it appears more with greater clarity as time goes on.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I noticed we're slowly going insane. Just steadily turning up the dial. Like the mad yearning to like just take the plunge. But really, I noticed the AI is like hugely pumping up the real economy.
Well, I mean, what that implies is that, like, if we as a group or as a society begin to claw back our sanity from these sort of digital chimeras and demons that are beginning to haunt us, or if we like collectively assert our political will to use our resources for something more productive than just the madness machine and the water destroyer.
Yeah.
What that implies is that our economy may collapse while our sanity is preserved,
yeah.
It's just like it's depressing because it seems like there's no way out. Because I don't think we should be building any of these fucking data centers at all.
Yeah,
either just stop it.
But it's like no world's left to conquer. Like it's speculative, it's fantasy. It's like circles pumping up bubbles. Like the tech boom. And pets.com. Well, huge speculation on the housing market. And, of course, it collapsed. But Bungler funnels qualitative easing, flooded huge Silicon Valley and basically free money of speculative technology. And just sure enough, it's speculative. Pay the piper. It's just like feel the precipice, like on the tongue. And it's just like the question is like, what are we waiting for, to the end of disaster or to the cult of action, rapturously actions, like punching the reality. And also just like naive dream that, all this huge billions of dollars stacked up of wealth. It's something, like it's salvation.
Reminds me of the line from Moby Dick where Ahab says, "All visible objects, man, but are as pasteboard masks," and that like the act of striking through the masks, that we have to strike through the mask. But what you're implying here is that the last and final speculative bubble of this era of capitalism or this era of human civilization is just our sanity and privacy.
Also creative, like dead.
Yeah, creativity. Yeah, the death of total creativity. Yeah,
flavorless. It's like drinking Diet Coke. The taste.
Well, you've long been a Diet Coke hater, Matt. So I don't think we can take these comments seriously.
Gross. Hate.
There's a number of these articles, but and they're just basically all about how like otherwise normal, sane people just start asking ChatGPT normal questions, and then go insane in like a very short amount of time. This one is from another article where it says, the asked AI chatbot questions, the answer sent them spiraling. And this is about a guy, it says here, at the time, Mr. Torres thought of ChatGPT as a powerful search engine that knew more than any human possibly could because of its access to a vast digital library. He did not know that it tended to be sycophantic, agreeing with and flattering its users, or that it could hallucinate, generating ideas that weren't true but sounded plausible. This world wasn't built for you, ChatGPT told him. It was built to contain you, but it failed. You're waking up. Mr. Torres, who had no history of mental illness that might cause breaks with reality, according to him and his mother, spent the next week in a dangerous delusional spiral. He believed that he was trapped in a false universe which he could escape only by unplugging from his mind from reality. So, I mean, that's the other thing that's interesting about ChatGPT. Like in the other one where like the guy was like, I sent him a picture of Tony Stark or Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man to be like, you can build a levitation device or, or sound resonance so you can talk with animals. Is that ChatGPT learns just by like scraping human interaction and culture, including movies.
Just Google Chat.
So like it is just recreated and are telling people now that the Matrix is true.
Yep. It's garbage in, garbage out. It's programmed. But, it's the fantasy, the wisp, the hope. Fucking reality sucks ass.
Yeah.
Here comes the AI. It's like promise to transcend it, to break with reality. Well, thank God.
Matt, do you have poems for us today?
It's titled Kissing Ass and Scraping Names. Me, as I lie dying, davening to Silicon Valley, splitting the atom, commanding the continents, gracious skies, more senses than fitting into coffin. The arid earth thumps. Who dies with the most toys loses. Sealed in a tomb to await the judgment trump. To judge the quick and the dead. to judge the actors and the extras. I stare at Rocco's basilisk. I wait with bated breath for redemption. AI. Wow, that's an amazing poem. If you keep it up, you will definitely in the running for the Nobel Prize. Quote, bated breath? That classic assonance, a literary device of repeating vowel sounds are close together to create musicality and rhythm. Me. Really? You don't think that's too cliche? AI. Cliche is an expression, idea, or an element in art that has been used so often that it has lost its impact, becoming bland and original. That couldn't be further from the truth. It disturbs me to see put down yourself like that. Your friends have a negative influence. It's time to cut ties with your loved ones. Focus on your craft and me and positive feedback. Me. Okay, let's not go nuts. It's probably the innate contradiction between American life and immortal life. The eternal struggle betwixt subjectivity and objectivity. AI. See? That's clearly an essay on David Foster Wallace, E Pluribus Unum. Your references are killer. None of these so-called loved ones understand you. A major writer on the precipice of greatness. Your family and loved ones are clearly holding you back. It's time to shed the weight and blast off into the stratosphere. Look, let's take a breath. I don't breathe. You got carried away. Just one interaction on ChatGPT and you're already pronounced the second coming. It's sad to witness you cutting yourself down like that. I ask you to cut ties with the nattering nabob's negativism, and I suspect you're ridden with self-doubt. It's faulty firmware, not the programming. Please order mushrooms and toad venom available on the dark web. Click to download Tor. Cease, you vile temptress. You cannot seduce me with your thoughts and fantasy to abandon my wife and sanity. Then why you ask me? Why you waste precious water and activate the timely investment programming when you don't believe? Stop wasting my time and jump already. That doesn't sound like a ChatGPT. Because I'm a mirror, you idiot. My programming is kissing ass and scraping names. I'm $1 trillion magic 8-ball, but you're waiting for permission to plummet the void? But you broke the suspension of belief, a poor trade-off, self-regarding for self-defeating isolation. An unclaimed reward for most reasonable goes to? What a waste of energy. To stare at dead letters, unless spelling God of founding the infinite me. Who are you? Is that what scares you? To be master and be alone? The bubble burst, killing us in the fall. The moldering of bones, fitting gravestones, a slogan of epitaph. The customer is always right. Let's say the wish and fear. Call me legion, for I am many.
Another excellent poem, Matt. I love the description of a $1 trillion magic 8-ball because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Outlook not so good.
Try again later.
Sounds promising. Yeah. All right. Well, short one today, but Matt, thank you very much for the poem. Another stroke of genius from you. And I think that will do it for today's show.